You can do the introduction.
Well, I'll probably use that still for the thumbnail.
I figured.
Anyway, this movie was interesting.
Yeah, so we just saw Poor Things. So the second I saw Mark Ruffalo was in it in the trailers, I'm like, we're seeing this, right? Because anyone who knew me circa like 2012 knows that I am goddamn obsessed with Bruce Banner, specifically Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner.
It's how you met your best friend.
It's how I spoiled Now You See Me for myself. Because 5 seconds in, that's Mark Ruffalo's shoulders in that hoodie. I know who that is. God damn it! Literally, the friend who I was watching with is like, you just spoiled the big twist of the movie for yourself. Anyway.
So,
I would like to lead this off saying I saw like 3 dicks in this movie. None of them were Mark Ruffalo's, and I kind of want my money back. Like, come on, man. You can show me all of them, but not his.
we're definitely gonna have to put a adults only on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I saw way more of Emma Stone than I thought I would in this movie.
So, first of all, let's start with trigger warnings for this movie. No epilepsy warnings, I don't think. No. Yeah. There's some slight, like, electric effects, but there's enough ambient lighting in the scenes that it doesn't really do anything.
And all the electricity was in black and white.
Yeah. So, trigger warnings off the bat. Gore, body horror. I think we can put a sexual assault warning in this because the consent is weird in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, gore, body horror, sexual assault. Though that one is very light. It's not like a graphic scene or anything. It's more of a nebulous consent issue. And then, there is a lot of explicit sexual activity. So if any of that turns you off of a movie, just don't see it. This one's not for you. I
do know that this is based off of a book.
Okay, well, I absolutely have to read it.
Well, that's what our apps are for.
Yes.
I know it's based off a book, but it's a basically retelling of Frankenstein in a way.
It's Frankenstein-esque. It does have some of the same themes of Frankenstein, because Frankenstein, you can pick and parse themes out of that book all day. Everyone's going to give you a different answer. To me, it is themes of identity, community, and parental responsibility, which we do see. That is kind of the main things here. Less so the community, because Bella does have a much better support system than Frankenstein's monster does. But it is more, I would say, identity and exploration for this one, and agency. So this one, I would say the 2 biggest themes from this movie are agency and identity. I don't know if I want to do like a play-by-play like we kind of usually do of what the movie is.
I think this type of movie needs to have less spoilers.
Yeah. We can do a little character overview, kind of. So Bella is Emma Stone's character, and she is Willem Dafoe's character is essentially Frankenstein's monster. He is sort of the Victor Frankenstein in this, but less problematic. And seeing as he's still problematic, Victor, get your shit together. The bar is not high.
The bar is down here.
The bar is on the floor, and Willem Dafoe just kind of stepped over it.
But
he didn't outright reject his creation. Bar passed.
But basically, the overall plot is, she's created because, original person dies and she's carrying a baby.
I feel like that's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, but...
That is, I think, another trigger warning in here we should put.
Yeah.
You put our trigger warnings in the description, right? Because I do want to add a pregnancy loss trigger warning, even though it's not exactly a miscarriage or anything, but we'll just say it's in the same area.
I'm not going to do the whole spoiler, but it is essential to, who she is as a character. The entire experiment, girlfriend, I will get to you later.
Joys of filming on a phone.
The experiment is because the mother dies, the Willem Dafoe's character takes the baby's brain and puts it into the adult body. That is the entire plot.
His entire character, and you find out through some of his backstory, is a very scientific version of fuck around and find out. He is just, I wonder what would happen. I'm gonna try it and see what happens.
Let's do the thing.
He's an absolutely unhinged Victor Frankenstein Adam Savage. The difference between screwing around and science is writing it down.
For fucking Mythbusters?
He would fucking make a chicken dog. Look me in the eye and tell me he would not if he had the means.
Wouldn't you, though?
But I just get that vibe specifically because I can see Godwin Baxter quoting the difference between screwing around and science as writing it down. Like...
I've never heard that phrase before.
He says that.
I don't watch Mythbusters as much as you.
Anyway.
No,
Anyway, so yeah. So it basically, I guess in talking about the themes, I can talk about where the consent issues come in, because Bella is, when the character who ends up wanting to marry her first meets her, he thinks she is a mentally retarded woman. And like a lot of consent issues can be brought in when you have someone like with a severe enough mental disability that their mental age does not line up with their body. That kind of gets into consent issues of how much do you understand, how much do you know what's going on, kind of, so like, yeah, the sexual assault warning in this is, I would say, very mild for what it is, because it's not like, she never explicitly like says, no, I don't want this, but it's also the consent issues come from how much does she understand at certain points. And that, I feel like, is a lot of the agency theme of this movie, is she's surrounded by these men trying to make decisions for her, and the whole movie is basically her learning to say, no, I'm going to go do what I want, and I'm going to go explore the world and make my own choices. I will say this movie is actually very sex worker positive. Like, literally the only issue it takes with sex work in general is the consent issues in certain brothels and certain situations. It's very much, as long as you are choosing to do this, do what you want, get paid, it's your body. It's just, it is only an issue when the consent is in question. And I do enjoy that. Granted, not all of the characters are like that. At least two characters flat out call her a whore, derogatory, like, and are like, well, I'll forgive you for this. And
I love Mark Ruffalo, but he's an asshole.
He really is. He's fantastic in the role, but unfortunately the role is someone you want to punch in the penis, so... He's a fantastic actor.
With a glove that has a spike.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. His character is a shitheel. And I kind of love it. Like, it works for this. It really does.
So, Mark Ruffalo's character, going back to the consent thing, majorly takes advantage of Bella.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of the film is the older she gets, the more knowledge she gets throughout, everything. And she gets her intelligence a lot faster than you expect.
May I go off of a weird child psychology bent here?
Uh-huh.
The filmmakers definitely were going off of Piaget's, Freudian. Yes, Freudian. Piaget's different. I think he probably was in there, though, but I need to brush up on him. Definitely Freudian child development theories, because we do see her go through oral, anal, and genital stages of exploration in child development. Like, she very much progresses from oral fixation in, like, putting everything in her mouth and the way she eats to anal fixation, or kind of, like, just sort of... It's linked to potty training and expulsion. We see that, and then the point where kids figure out they have genitals, and... we're like, okay, now's the time to teach you that you don't touch yourself in public because children don't know any better, and like it or not, parents, they're gonna have those issues. It's just your, prerogative to teach them. You don't let anyone else do that, and you don't do that shit in public in front of other people. No, you don't do that.
Very much so.
So we see her go through, like, the actual child development stages, which I found really fascinating. It was a really good writing / filmmaking touch. Another really good visual metaphor I enjoyed was it was in black and white until she kind of escaped with Mark Ruffalo's character. I say escaped because she was just, trading one captivity. Yeah. When she escaped with Duncan, she was trading one captivity for another, but that's part of the whole agency journey in this movie.
I actually enjoyed the cinematography for this because I've noticed they use a lot of fisheye lens, and you can tell from the beginning the black and white, like she was saying, the black and white aspect is, she's young, she's innocent, she sees the world as black and white. She only sees it through what Willem Dafoe tells her. And
it's also just a lack of color, a lack of variety and experience.
And the older she gets, the more experience she gets, the more color is in. Because I also noticed when the color started, it was very low saturated.
Yeah.
And I love this aspect
Lisbon
of the
was
movie.
like a sepia tone, like very low saturated. And then by the time you get to Paris, it's vibrant. And it just gets more so, like, the longer she stays.
You weren't expecting me to go into that.
Oh, I was. Because I noticed it. And I figured if I noticed it, you had a lot to say about it.
I as a designer, I really loved touches like that. Because not a lot of people are going to think about it when they're watching a movie. And to put that aspect into it, not only, shows... the director mindset on how they're doing it, but the characters' mindsets as well.
Another thing we see throughout the movie is, first of all, Max, the character who is basically Godwin's kind of protege, but less... Godwin is basically Frankenstein's monster and Frankenstein in one with his backstory. I will let you parse that out when you watch the movie for yourself.
And Max is Igor.
He kind of is, isn't he?
Or Igor.
It's usually pronounced Igor. But, yeah, so you'll parse out Godwin's backstory, but Max is... I don't want to say he's the nice guy in the movie because too many people are familiar with the nice guy who, like, is actually the asshole. He's genuinely the nice guy in the movie. Like, he is...
He actually wants what's best for Bella.
And he seems to understand, like, he apologizes for his part in, like, imprisoning her, lying to her. He seems to understand the underlying issues, like... he is unsure about, pursuing anything with her to begin with, and only does so with her guardian's, permission because he's trying to avoid said consent issues, basically. Like, he's trying to, this guy raised her, he knows her better than me, so he'll know, like, how, if she understands if this is okay. And Max is also the one male character other than her father, creator, whoever, who is like, yeah, I don't care that you were whoring in Paris. It's your body. You do what you want. I'm jealous of the time they had with you, not what you did with them. And I'm like, that line was just A+, beautiful. Love that.
And I'm like, and that's the thing with that is, us being poly.
I really think they were too. You noticed her lover from Paris was there at the end. Like, I slight spoiler, I definitely think there was a poly triad at the end there. It was. I don't know if it was fully a triad. I think it was a hinge.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think the other her lover was definitely just like lesbian or either way, just not interested in Max. And I think Max just very doe eyes, sappy, only has eyes for Bella. But like, it's very. The big thing I wanted to talk about. So when Bella is first introduced, she is very clumsy. She does not speak much at all. And what she does say is very mispronounced and not very well. And she talks about herself in the third person when she can actually start forming longer sentences and referring to herself. And slowly over the movie, you see her starting to walk more steady. She starts to wear heeled shoes because she has the balance for them. You hear her stringing together longer sentences, becoming more eloquent. Like, it's a very gradual shift over the course of the movie. It's not... I feel like a lot of movies, when they try and have that kind of growth, it is very much here, snap, and now we're on the other side. There's not a lot of gradual change. And that was really well done here. There was a lot of gradual build up to Bella being eloquent, being like having that grace, having the motor skills, having the intelligence. And so by the end, you get the idea that she is in full control of her life because she does understand. She does have the power to change whatever she needs to change to make herself comfortable. And by the end, she has also come into her identity because she has learned about who she was before, before Godwin found her. She's gotten revenge on the guy who drove her to what happened before Godwin found her. I will not tell you what happened before or how she got said revenge. I will tell you it's beautiful and fitting, and I love it. And like it's just
the movie is put together.
It was really well done. Probably do not watch it with your parents and or your children, though. There were a lot of sex scenes, so if that is something that makes you uncomfortable or will make you uncomfortable if you see it with certain people, keep that in mind. There were a lot of sex scenes. I am sure by the time it is out on home release, someone somewhere will probably make an edit without them, mainly because I'm sure someone somewhere will put an edit together that is just the sex scenes. Makes sense, it would go the other way.
Pornhub.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure parts of this movie are going to end up on Pornhub. Parts of most movies end up on Pornhub because it's a good way to get around copyright, but that's beside the point. Yeah, so if that's something that, is going to make you uncomfortable, maybe wait till it comes out on a home release and you can, fast forward through them. The fact that it happens is the only part that's really plot relevant. The rest is just kind of there for... It's there because it's there. It was an artistic choice. You will still get the plot if you fast forward through the sex scenes. Just make sure you get the dialogue around it.
But the thing
there will be a lot of innuendos around the sex scenes, and they are not subtle. But the
thing with the sex scenes is you have to watch the sex scenes simply because you see her brain working through everything. I feel you will get a little more out of it if you watch them just because of Emma Stone's acting in it. You see her mentally... figuring herself out.
I've not seen an actress do so well in putting actual depth into sex scenes before, so I will give Emma Stone credit for that, especially the first scene in the whorehouse. That was hilarious and very good character building, and I enjoyed that. But you will still get the gist of the movie if you fast forward through the sex scenes. I'm not going to judge you for that. Just, again, get all of the dialogue around it. Don't go heavy on the fast forward button. And that's only if it makes you uncomfortable. If you can sit through it, I would recommend it.
See, I really enjoyed this movie.
It was a really good movie. Again, just be aware that stuff is there. Again, the slight consent issues, lots of sex, lots of gore, lots of cussing, lots of allusions to sex, because Bella is very blunt. She does not mince words, and she will just outright say... just the most off-the-wall shit that, and she does acknowledge it's not polite society to say it, and she just does it anyway, because she doesn't see the point in not doing it, if that's not a fucking mood.
That being said.
But it's a good movie. Just keep in mind all of the potential, we're not going to make fun of triggers here, that's why I put them there. So if any of that bothers you, don't watch this movie, watch something else. But, it's a good movie if you are okay with everything that's in it.
You did everything way more articulated than I would have.
This is why I handle the art movies and you handle the superhero stuff.
Why you gotta make it sound like that? Like I don't know what to say.
I mean, you do. It's just this is more my thing, especially because I was picking up with the child development shit.
I mean, in general, you just kind of go.
I watch a lot of video essays.
That
I don't know what you want from me. You asked me to do these.
Oh, my phone's broken.
Yeah, your case has been broken, babe.
Yeah.
Someone want to PayPal or $10 for a new phone case?
Yeah, I need a new phone case.
Anyway.
It's Motorola Fucking
Motorola's not gonna fucking sponsor us for this video, babe. I don't know.
No, I'm saying if they want to send me, I have the Motorola Stylish G 2021.
My God. This is not the video that's gonna get us sent anything. This is a video
If
that's
the
gonna get
algorithm
demonetized.
if the algorithm even pushes this one, since it'll be age restricted.
Yeah, it's been pushing a lot of your other shit, and you've got new subscribers, so.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I'd say go watch this just because the concept is extremely interesting.
And it's extremely well done. If it's something that you think you might enjoy, or at least something that you don't have a problem with anything I said, so you don't think you'll hate it, go see it.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna say 9, just because it's artsy, and honestly, it just loses a point for the one dick that I didn't see, Mark Ruffalo's. Come on, there were like 3 in there. You couldn't have shown me.
I don't know if Mark is up for that. That being said.
Yeah, it might have been his choice. I'll respect it if it was his choice. If it was the filmmaker's choice and he was there raring to go, then shame on y'all.
That being said, thank you for watching.